What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I decided to do a video on beginners. So when you start off loading into Layton Lake, you're basically going to start off, I believe, here. I believe this is where you start off. So basically you're going to end up walking up and it's going to tell you to get to a watchtower, which you're going to unlock here. And then it's going to open up anything that's around the area. So what you're going to have an outpost, so I would recommend getting the outpost. And when you're at an outpost, you can change the time, and you're going to have like a locker, which is also a store. So you can equip your weapons or buy your ammunition. So I'm at an outpost right now. It's not the same one, it's a different one. So I'm just going to give you an idea. So you can go inside, you go up to the bed, you can change the time to any time, and it does cost $250.
You know, I spotted some tracks earlier, close to where you're at right now. I'll send the coordinates.
Here you got your store, so you can go down to your rifles. For those that are starting, you will not have all guns unlocked, and you won't be able to buy them right away. You're basically going to start off with the 243. You're going to start off with a 12 gauge, and you're going to start off with a pistol, which is going to be, I think it's a 357. So you can go down to your handguns, shotguns. Actually, for the shotguns, to give you an idea. So this is the shotgun that you will be starting off with. And for your 243, for those don't have any weapon packs, you'll be starting off with this. It's free. So is the shotgun. You automatically have it. And the handgun, it would be the 357. I would recommend actually focusing on your rifle, because I'm pretty sure that's the more weapon that you're going to be using. They do have bows as well. Down here you have your ammo for your rifle, your handgun, shotgun, and arrows. Then you got your rifle sights. When you start off, this is the scope that you're going to start off with. You don't see very far. And once you start leveling up and making some cash, I would recommend getting the Hyperon scope. That's the scope that I usually use. Or you can save up and get the bigger scope. I'm not a fan of this scope. I find it's zoomed in way too much, especially when they're up close, so I don't use it. If you're going to take those really long shots, like up to 400 yards, it is a lot better to use that scope, but that's just my opinion. And for your lures, or your collars, so basically when you start off the game, you're only going to have your deer bleat collar, and you're going to have the predator jackrabbit collar, which is good for coyotes. And sorry, I missed one. And I believe you get the roe deer collar, which is going to be on the European map. And when you equip your stuff, it's in your storage. So whatever weapon you click on, it goes to the right. So that goes into your inventory. This is what's in your locker, what you do have. So I did equip myself with the 243, the 270, the 30-06, and the 7mm. The 30-06 is a weapon pack. I believe it's weapon pack 3. I would recommend getting it. You don't absolutely have to. When I started off, I didn't have any weapon packs either. So I basically just leveled up and unlocked the 270. and went from there. And then I ended up buying all the weapon packs and all the maps as well. So the 243, like I said, is the one you start with, and then I level up to the 270, and then I end up getting the 30-06. Or you can save up your money and go straight to the 7mm. And that's pretty much it. You can change your outfit, but I wouldn't recommend doing it right away. It costs money for your different outfits. You can get a four-wheeler, so you click on your garage. It doesn't matter really what color it is. So for an example, I'm just going to take this black one, or charcoal. And then it just pops up behind you when you exit the store. So if you do get on it and hit the gas, as you can see, if you look on the bottom right corner, you got like a speaker icon. So I'm off it now. I'm not making any noise. I'm standing still. But if you do get on it, it makes tons of noise. So obviously if you're going to be driving around with a four-wheeler, it's going to make a lot of noise. But if you just want to use it to open up the map and get all your watchtowers and outposts unlocked, it's actually a good idea. That's what I did. Another thing what you can focus on is your missions. Obviously I haven't completed them all, but when you first start off, I would recommend starting off your missions. It helps you get XP in it and cash to level up. So I'm gonna try to go out and get some animals. So at first I'm gonna be starting off with the 243. 243 is not a bad gun to start with, but the only two animals on Layton Lake that you can shoot at is basically the coyote and the deer, which is the blacktail and the whitetail. And another thing, beside the speaker icon, you got your heart rate as well, and in the middle, that's the visibility of the animals, if you're able to be seen. So if you get to a bush or a tree and get underneath it, it goes to like a basically nothing. So right now I'm not visible to any animals. You can be out in the open, and if you lay down, it works too. You basically just gonna have a flat bar. But if the animal like gets right on top of you or pretty close to you, you will be spotted. And on the map there are stands that you can get. Obviously, you gotta buy them. I wouldn't recommend buying every single stand in the game. I did, but I mean, I had the money anyways. I wouldn't recommend getting it unless you absolutely have the money to spend, because you got to remember that your bullets do cost money, and they're actually quite a bit. Another thing is, I wouldn't recommend always walking around with your gun out, because if you happen to hit that trigger button, obviously even if you're not aiming down sight, the gun will go off, and if there was any animals around you, they're gonna hear the gunshot, and obviously they're gonna get spooked and run away. So me personally, I usually always walk around with my binoculars. I do have the better binoculars, so obviously I got a rangefinder on it, so I know how many yards are out. And if you're not sure on what gun to use on your animals, just go to your inventory, click on your, excuse me, click on your ammo. Like for my 243, if you look on the bottom right, it says effective range 160 yards, penetration 30, expansion 4. And then it says recommended class from 2 to 6. My 270 is 4 to 8. My 30-06 is 4 to 8. And my 7 mil is from 4 to 9. And it shows you, if you look in the left side, it shows you what animals you can shoot at. If you're not exactly sure that way either, what you can do is go to your codex, go all the way down to wildlife. So on Layton Lake you got black bear. So if you click on black bear, it says on the right top corner, it says level 7. So like I said, the 243 is only from 2 to 6. So you can't shoot at the bear with the 243. You can if you want. If you get a vital hit, he will manage to go down eventually, but it won't knock him down right away. Black-tailed deer, that's what's on this map. He's a level 4. So all the guns that I have on me right now, I'm able to shoot him. Or her. And same for the coyote. Coyote's a level 2. So the only gun I can shoot him with that I have on me is my 243. And let's find something bigger. So moose is a level 8. So my 270, my 30-06, and my 7 mil I can use on the moose. Just because my gun, like my 270 and my 30-06 maxes out at 8, it doesn't mean it won't take them down. It is recommended for that class. I just prefer taking down the moose with the 30-06. If you don't have any of the weapon packs or DLCs, the 270 will put them down as long as you get a vital hit. If you get a lung shot, heart shot, liver, he's going to go down no matter what. The only thing is, if you get a single lung, he will run off for a while. Same thing for elk. There's elk on this map as well. They're also level 8. And if you look on the right side, it would tell you when they're more active. So like the elk are more active during dawn and dusk. It gives you information all about the animals. So that's another way to find out what guns are good for the animals. And another thing, once you get a bunch of outposts unlocked, you can fast travel to them. And you can equip yourself with tents. And you can place your tents anywhere on the map. And even if you leave the game automatically saves. So whenever you back out, your tent is going to stay there. The only thing, if you do join a multiplayer game and you happen to place a tent down on their map, even though you don't pick it up, when you leave the game, you're going to get a pop-up on your screen and it's going to say that your tent, basically your tent comes back with you anyways. It goes back to your inventory or back to your store. So we do have a moose out there. Got another moose over there. So I think he's about 300 yards out, but he did see me. I don't think I can try calling him in. And like I said, when you're starting off with your binoculars, um, you don't have a rangefinder like I do. So another trick what you can do is if you spot out an animal like that moose, what you can do is go on your map, zoom in, and then it's going to pop out where the moose is. And then if you look on your bottom right corner, it tells me how many yards they're out. So the moose that I just spotted out is about 344 yards. I would actually like to see some deer. So like I said, the 243 is not good for the moose. So here's an example for the scopes. So I equipped the 243 and I equipped the scope that you start off with. It doesn't zoom in very far, but I mean, at least it's a scope, you can zoom in somewhat. On the 270, I did equip the better scope. Like I said, I always use the scope. I'm used to it, and it works fine for me. You can zoom in a lot more. Give you a little comparison. So I'm zoomed in all the way. Now I'm going back to my 270 with a Hyperon scope. And you can see the tree is a lot closer. Another tip is, if you really want to get animals, always go around water areas. As you can see, I got a lot of zones unlocked all along this river, all the way up to the top and to the right side. Around this lake, that's a small lake. This is Beaumont Lake. I've hunted here many times. For those that are starting off, like I said, you start off down here, get this watchtower. I would recommend getting this one and this one as well, so that way you can cover this area. And then I would recommend coming to this lake. It's a really good area. And another thing, as you can see, there is a compass, and the green arrow is basically telling me where the wind is coming from and where it's going. So the wind is coming from the southeast and it's blowing towards northwest. So seeing the fact that if I'm going to start heading towards northwest, whatever animals are over there, they're going to smell me. Now there is scent eliminator in the game. I don't have it equipped right now, but the scent eliminator, I would not recommend wasting your money on it. It's basically a 50-50 chance that it works. I've used it plenty of times, and half the time if the animals are really close to me, it doesn't work. The animals end up smelling me either way, and they ended up running off. Oh, and we got a whitetail there at 300 yards. That one too. So here's an example. The 243 for the scope you start off with. So she's pretty far out and I can barely see her. And this is the scope that I always use. It's a lot closer. What you can do is try to sneak up to the animals. But if you're out in the open, you're going to be spotted. So I'd always keep an eye on them. So now I have been spotted, so they're getting nervous. You can crawl on the ground to get to them, so you still have some cover, especially if you get into the tall grass. You get less visible for the animals. And when you're taking a shot on the animals when you first start off, I would recommend taking a broadside shot. It will make your shooting and hitting the animal a lot better. And I'll try to spot out the spot where to hit them for the vital hits. You definitely want to get the lungs. That's where the animal will go down. Now, did they flee? I think they did. So I believe I did spook them off. There's one. That's the wrong call. So you definitely want to wait till they're actually stopped. You can shoot while they're walking. I've done it many times. So basically, you want to shoot them on the side, how they are now. I'm not sure if I can pull this off. Not sure if that's a vital hit. Our health is dropping, so I might have gotten the right lung. So that was with the 243. So if you're not sure if they went down, as soon as you shoot an animal, if you look on your map, there's going to be hunting pressure. So this wasn't here before, so this just popped up. And this is where I last spotted the animal. So what you can do is put a waypoint on it, and it will take you right to where the last spot you spotted it. And you cannot swim in the game, so I'm obviously going to have to walk around the water here. If it's like this, you can walk through it. That was a bit deep there. But yeah, you cannot swim in the game. So if I started walking out here, I believe here, yeah. If I start walking out here, it's not going to work. You will not be able to cross. So I'm pretty sure I did get a vital hit on her, seeing the fact that I did see her health dropping. That's the thing too, when you first start off, you won't be able to see that. That's just because I have a perk that's unlocked. And she is down. And for some reason, I don't know why, but her tracks ain't working. So I shot her at 177 yards, and I got her in the right lung. And if you want to be sure, so you want to get all these checked off. Proper ammunition used. You cannot shoot at an animal more than 2 times. Intact trophy organs. So you do not want to shoot an animal in the head. You're going to ruin the trophy. And I did get a vital hit, so I have everything checked off. Then I'm going to go back on the map, and I'm going to click on the map, and I'm going to remove my waypoint. So like I said earlier, for those that don't have weapon packs, if you're using the 243, I can show you the store again if you like, but you're going to start off with a soft point, I believe. They're free. You can take as much ammunition as you want. And then I would recommend unlocking the 270, or if you want to just save up your money and go right up to the 7mm, you can. You unlock the 7mm, anything on the map, you can pretty much shoot except for ducks and coyote. So tracking an animal as well, you can do that. So for some reason now their tracks are working. Me personally, I don't always track an animal, usually when I spot one out in the open. So if you click on their droppings, it says that it's fresh. So it means that they're not too much further ahead. And if it says very fresh, it means you're pretty much going to be inside of them. So I wouldn't recommend running all the time, like I'm doing right now, especially through the bush. You're making a lot of noise and the animals are going to hear you running. So me, the way that I hunt, even though I came from an area, I always look back just in case an animal does come out from where I last was. Like I said, you do not want to be walking around with your gun out, just in case you do hit that trigger. I can show you for an example. So if you're walking around like this and you accidentally hit the trigger, the gun does go off. So that's why I recommend not walking around with the gun out. I always walk around with my binoculars. Keep an eye out. See if I spot out anything. Or you can sit in a tree or underneath a tree. Do some calls. See if you get a response. So actually, I think I'm going to spawn in another area. This is another nice spot to hunt. The spot where I am spawning, I actually have a video on YouTube. It's about 3 minutes long, but it's called Sneaking Up to a Diamond Moose. And I took out a diamond moose here. I like this spot because when you spawn in, you can see across the lake. And there is a doe laying right there about 280 yards. Like I said, if you don't have the rangefinder or anything, like I said, click on your map, zoom in, just put your icon on top of the animal. It's going to say what it is, and she is 290 yards out, to give you an idea. So this time I'm going to be using the 270. So again, the example for the different scopes. So I did spot her out. You won't have that perk either. I'm going to show you later on. Now if I go to my 270 and zoom in, obviously she's a lot more visible. So basically on deer, moose, and bear, what you kind of want to do for the lungs is try to get it tucked in right behind the legs. I am going to move a bit closer. Probably manage to get to the edge of the water here. And when you do start off, actually I'm gonna start talking about the perks now and your skills. I'm just gonna get closer and I'm gonna lay down. So she's about 250, 260. So I'm gonna lay down right here. So if you hit your pause button or whatever, here you're gonna have your skills and your perks. Your perks are for your weapons. So I have everything unlocked. So you're gonna have your muzzle memory, breath control, steady hands, and your zeroing. I would recommend start focusing on your rifle. Like I said, most of you are gonna probably be using the rifle anyways, so I would recommend starting it off. Muzzle memory, basically, it brings the gun up faster when you're about to take a shot. Breath control is for when you hold your breath to take a shot to steady it out, and steady hands as well. So that way your gun's not going all over the place. And for the handgun, I would recommend getting sprint and reload. It is good for while you're running, you can reload your weapon, and it unlocks the ability to reload all the weapons while running. So just because it's on the handgun, it's for all weapons. So your rifle, your handgun, and your shotgun. Shotguns, I would recommend unlocking some of these as well, especially your recoil management. So I got 3 out of 3 unlocked. So basically it reduces the recoil from the weapons. Even though I have 3 out of 3, the 30-06 still has a kick, and I do have the 300 mag, and it still has a good kick on it. For your skills, this is basically finding your animals. So locate tracks, track knowledge, connect the dots. You're gonna want this stuff. When you're spotting out the animal, you're gonna want some of this too. It tells you the trophy ratings and how much you weigh, and if it's a male or female. She should be still there. Okay, she's still there. So like I said, you want to kind of tuck it in right behind the leg. I'd say I was using a 270. Hopefully this works out. So she's about 250, so I'm going to aim a bit high. And for those, if you're starting off, actually I'm going to probably go prone to show you. If you go prone, your gun is... you're going to have better luck aiming. The gun's going to be a lot more steady, and your sight's going to be a lot more steady. So that's a vital hit. Like I said, the 270 is a really good gun. I use it all the time. She's dead. Could have looked around too, just in case there was other ones around. There's another one. There's a hill in her way. She's about 300 yards out. So for those that might buy that do have, or are thinking about getting the 30-06, I don't like the way she's lying down because there's kind of like a hill in her way. So she just got alerted because I've been running around. That's a vital hit on her. And that's with the 30-06. See, she went down a lot quicker. Obviously, the 30-06 has more the punch compared to the 270. So now I got 2 animals down here. So as you can see, I spotted out 2 animals, and the hunting pressure will go up. I wouldn't recommend shooting more than, I'd say 3, max 4, because if you do, your zones will go away. But that I don't think that means that they won't come back. Eventually they will. It's just if you have hunting pressure, animals won't necessarily come into the zone. A way to get rid of your hunting pressure is to hunt in another area. So whatever I shoot here, basically I just gotta move on, go to another area, and then this area will disappear. If I can show you. So I do remember I had a little bit of hunting pressure over here somewhere. So like here. So this is starting to fade away because I'm creating hunting pressure in another area. So again, I spotted out 2 animals. If you're not sure where you shot them, put a waypoint on them where you last spotted them, and it should take you right to the spot where you shot at them at least. So these are her tracks. So I just want to see here for a second, because that's the last time I spotted her out. So here's the blood trail. So basically when I'm tracking an animal, I just click on the blood splatter. So it says medium, so I definitely got a vital hit. So this is where I shot her. So it's going to tell me that I got a vital organ hit, and it says it's fresh. Obviously I just shot at her. So what you can do as well is bring up your phone, and your phone is like a GPS. So every time I click on a track, it's gonna put a point on your GPS. So if you happen to lose the tracks, you can go back to that last spot where you last spotted out the blood trail and go from there again. Usually when I'm spotting them out, I always go in the direction that they're facing. You can also click on the tracks as well, but I've always just clicked on the blood splatter. So I'm going to harvest her. So I didn't get her in the lung, but I got her at 250 yards, and I got her in the stomach and liver. But that is considered a vital hit. So I used the proper ammunition. I only shot her once. I did not shoot her in the head. And it is a good shot. But I wouldn't recommend going for that liver all the time. I just shot a little bit too far back. And like I said, for those that don't have the DLC or weapon packs, for that matter, the 7mm is in the game. I would recommend unlocking it. Obviously, it's going to be stronger than the 270. So she didn't run very far. So I shot a bit low. I don't even know how I got that right lung. But I did get a vital hit on her at 273 yards with the 30-06. If I would have pulled off a double lung, she would actually have dropped on the spot with the 30-06. And another thing, I always keep my guns reloaded, so that way you know that you're gonna have enough ammunition to shoot. Especially if you're shooting the 7mm, it's only a single shot. You want to make sure that gets reloaded. So I'm going to move on and see if I can find another deer, and I'm going to probably shoot it with the 7mm to show you guys. There's no deer here at the moment. I don't see any. As you're walking too, you can also sound out a few calls, see if it works. When you do spot out animals, if they're at a drinking zone or whatever, so you can check out their drinking zones. So like here, for example, I got black-tailed deer from 5:30 in the morning to 9. That's when they're going to be here for and drinking. So if you look on your top left corner, it says it's 10:44. So obviously there shouldn't be any black-tailed deer. Well, shouldn't be. It doesn't mean that there won't be any there. It just, that's their time for drinking. All animals are different. Usually the black-tail are drinking in the morning, and the white-tails start at 12:30 to about 4 in the afternoon. Do get a moose. Here I got my decoys for the mallards, and I do have my blind stand there. Oh, there's a 5 medium elk. That's a big elk. The animals do get pretty cautious. When you start off in the game, you will not have the elk collar at the beginning. You have to level up to get it. As well as the moose call and the bear call. Moose call you don't necessarily need. Sometimes the deer call does work on moose. So basically, if you're using the deer call and you hear a moose answer, it's because they're thinking in their head that it's safe, because they're hearing a deer, and they will come into the deer call. I've done it many times. I've called in moose by using the deer call. It's just their way of thinking that it's safe, because the fact that they hear another species out in the open or wherever the area is. So I'm not sure if this elk ran. What you can do where you last spotted the animal, to give you an idea how close you're getting, is place a waypoint as well. So it's kind of hard to see because of that zone, but I think it's 320 yards out. And that's a level 5 elk, so he's pretty big. Like I said, if I can get in range and get in sight of him again. Hopefully I didn't spook him. The last time I spotted him, he was alert. So it could be possible by the time I get over this ridge here, he might not be there. So like I said, you do not want to be running around for nothing. And like I said, for using a four-wheeler, it would make a lot of noise. But if you're just going to use the four-wheeler to unlock the map, I mean, it's perfectly fine. Actually, I'm getting a moose warning call. The thing with this game, sometimes you gotta have patience. Sometimes it's hard to get to the animals without spooking them. I do have the tripod pack. You do have blind stands in the game as well that you can use in place. So that elk did stay there. That's perfect. So he's about 240 yards out. So I'm going to use the 7 mil. So I'm pretty sure that's a vital. And he should go down 0 and 25. So I'm gonna go where I last shot him. Well, last shot him where I did shoot him. Just to show you guys again for the blood splatter. But to me that had to have been a vital. I could have shot at him with my 270. But for sure he would have... I'm pretty sure he would have ran a lot further. Especially bear, moose, and elk. If you're able to pull off a second shot with the 270, I would recommend doing it. And if you're able to get off 2 vital hits, it's even better. Okay, this moose is going crazy. So I kept this elk spotted. So what you can do in the game as well is if you go to your system, I believe it's graphics or game. It's game. So my inactive tracks are yellow, my active tracks are green, and when I spot them out, they highlight green as well. You can put that whatever color you want. Doesn't matter, whatever works better for you. You can. I think when you shut off in the game, everything is white. So I would actually recommend changing them so that we don't get mixed up with the tracks. So this is a vital hit. So if you see a lot of blood like that, and like I said, it's definitely a vital hit. Here's the next blood. So it's pointing in the direction where he went. And like I said, if you're not sure, bring up your phone and follow your GPS. $25 and $50. Like I said, you will not have this option when you first start off for their health. 0 and 25. And I don't need it because I see him in the water. Now that's a pretty big elk. Oh wow, he's gorgeous. He's a gold. So I shot a bit far back again. So I got him in the stomach and liver. The stomach is not considered a vital hit, but the liver is. So I shot him at 232 yards, and he scored a gold. He's actually a big gold. That's a really big gold. So he's scoring at 370, and I'm 10 points off for being a diamond. So he's a really big gold. And he just gave me 1100 cash. Perfect, but it's not like I need the cash. I have quite a bit. Got 310,000 but I've been playing this game for 7 months now. So another moose. So I'll actually show you with the 270. Like I said, the 243 you cannot shoot the moose with. So she's about 216 yards roughly. And the wind is blowing in her direction. So I'm going to take this quick. Should have been a vital. Like I said, I shot her with the 270, so her health might not drop as fast. I'll find out in a second. See, I just saw it drop at the last minute or second. I could have easily taken a second shot on her, but I just want to show you the difference from this 270 up to the 7mm. If I would have shot her with the 30-06, she probably would have went down faster as well. So the ones that I spot, like I said, they're highlighted green. So now I'm coming up to the area where I shot her, and even from here that I know for sure that's a vital hit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it though. Vital hit. So right now I'm going to just follow the blood trail. Like I said, I always just follow I usually click on the blood trail. So yeah, I got a feeling she's going to be running for a while before she actually goes down. For those that don't have DLC packs, I would recommend getting the 7mm to knock down the moose, the bear, and the elk. But I just wanted to show you with the 270, you can shoot the moose. It's just the fact that it takes a while for them to go down. $15.75 again. Oh, she's pretty tough. 0 and 25. I'm pretty sure that we've been running for a while just to get to her. So here she is. So now we're gonna find out exactly how much tracking distance I had to get to her. So we had, if you look on the left side, female, her weight 784. And tracking distance, so I had to track her down 480 yards before I got to her, and I shot her at 217 yards. The tracking is only when you start actually tracking the animal down. So I did get a single lung. So I just wanted to show you guys what the 270 can do, and like I said, if you're able to get off a second shot on the moose, elk, or bear, I would recommend doing it with the 270. They would go down a lot quicker. Well, folks, I think that's going to be it for this video. And like and subscribe to help my channel get out there. So I'll catch you guys all next time.